Oh man. Okay, welcome back to Live at the Roxy. We're here on 436 at 4:36 on a Friday. Probably a time that I don't think I've ever streamed live before. Keeping you on your toes, baby. So here's the deal. I have a lot going on. And I know a lot of you guys have a lot going on. And I wanted to see maybe we can help each other. Maybe we can advise each other. Maybe we can give tips and tricks. I was doing a clip out about 2 months ago for The Real Rejects. You guys know I run their social media. And I was doing a clip out for an interview that Greg Alba did with James Gunn. And the clip out did phenomenally well for us. And I was kind of thinking about like what Gunn said that connected with people so much. And it was him talking about how he wrote Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, and Superman all in 1 year. And that his job is to write. His job isn't to. Actually, I wonder if I could just play it for you guys. I think I probably can. Let me see if I can find the clip right now. But it's still to this day, it gets just reposted and it performed for us on YouTube. It performed for us on Instagram and on TikTok. Usually something kind of takes off more in one spot, but this clip just seemed to be something that really resonated with people. Yeah, on Instagram, it has 240,000 views. Okay, so let's listen to it. I thought this was interesting, and then we can kind of talk a little bit about it. But okay, let me turn my volume up.
But I really did push myself for a couple of years. I wrote Creature Commandos, I wrote Superman, I wrote Peacemaker season 2 all in 1 year. 650 pages of material. By the time I got to Peacemaker, it was not fun, really. I mean, I was forcing myself into doing it. And you know what? That was okay. Because I was like, oh, I got to write this stuff. I was going away on New Year's to Hawaii with my wife and I couldn't spend any time because I was holed up in the hotel room all day writing Peacemaker. And I'm like, I'm writing your TV show. She's like, well, I'd rather have you be my husband. I got to write the TV show. It was hellish in a way, but still, I would do it. I would write. Oh, and I get to the end. I'm going, oh, wow, it's pretty good. I'm surprised. Yeah. But I have to let go of the judgment of myself because that's the problem with creativity. People ask me all the time about writer's block. I'm like, I don't know if the writer's block is a real thing or not. But what I know is I have moments where I'm judging myself so harshly that it's difficult to feel good about what I'm writing. But my job as a writer isn't to feel good. My job is to write. So when I'm writing, I'm just sitting down and I'm taking those next moments and doing that thing. And if I'm writing crap, write crap. That's okay. That's my job too, because eventually, you work through all of that and you get to something magical. And sometimes I get to the end of something and I was like, oh, I thought that was horrible the whole time I was writing it. And then I read it, it's pretty good. And other times I feel great about something and I read it and I go, I don't know if that's as good as I thought it was. So it's really just about not letting our feelings dictate our choices. It's very much like Superman, right? I mean, that's really part of what this movie's about. It's like, it's our choices who make us who we are. Yeah.
So it's not about letting our feelings dictate our choices. And that line has been resonating with me a lot recently. It's not about letting our feelings dictate our choices. Do you guys think that's true? Do you think that our feelings should not dictate our choices? I think it's really interesting how many things this applies to, not just as a writer, but a lot in the industry. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think this is relatable to a lot of people. I've had dreams of being a star since I was 3 years old. I've had dreams of producing, starring in, and writing my own television show like Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Issa Rae, Mindy Kaling, Lena Dunham, since I was a kid. Lucy. I've had dreams of running a studio. I've had these dreams since I was little. And everything that I do seems to come back to focus on your career, Roxy. This is your dream. I'm in a group of 5 girlfriends out in Los Angeles. One of them actually moved to Singapore this year, but you guys know them. My friends, Steph, who's bestie girl, Jess, who you guys know, Lucero, Haley, who's come on the show before, and my friend Yaz, who moved to Singapore. We're in a group of 5, and we're very, very close. I also have a lot of other close friends out here. One of my friends, Sarah, who you guys know, I started hosting with at AfterBuzz. I was in her wedding in Mammoth. Some of my best friends, David and Ritza, who's been on the show before. I have a ton of friends and I feel lucky to have those friends. But they all have kind of found ways to be a little bit more well-rounded than I am. In terms of they're all married or engaged. They all like go on vacations or trips or getaways. And they all work. And I think it's interesting that so many times I feel like so many people around me have it all. And I want it all. So maybe I should focus more on dating or trying to start a family, freezing my eggs, whatever it is, and not just on my career. But no, I don't think, Mel, being in a relationship makes someone well-rounded. That's not what I just said. I said that they are in relationships and they work. A lot of them own homes. I think I mentioned a few things. Go on vacations, trips, social lives. Mentioned a bunch of stuff. Of course, being in a relationship doesn't make somebody well-rounded, but it does make somebody more well-rounded than somebody who only is focused on one area of their life. And they all seem to be pretty well-rounded. And happy with that, which is cool. But I don't know, there's something about the universe that seems to continue to tell me, put your dream first. Put your dream first. And so I go back and forth on this because I do want to find a person and I do want to be able to take more trips and vacations. And I do wish that I was the kind of person who would go out and like spend $200 on a new outfit that I felt sick in. But I'm really not. I'm a hand-me-downs girl. I always have been. I buy everything on sale. I can't remember the last time I bought something for myself that was not on sale. I try to save. I try to spend every dollar I have on Grammy. And all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know though. I feel like it feels to me, I'm a different kind of person than a lot of my friends are. And it feels to me like I can't focus on anything else until I attain a little bit more success in my career. And so I'm still going on dates and doing the thing, but like, how long can you push yourself for? I ask that question because the last couple weeks I have been going like, whoa, balls to the wall. And I'm trying it in a different way. You guys know I kind of always go balls to the wall, but I'm trying to say yes to every event. So like, I went to the premiere of Platonic. That was 2 weeks ago. And since then, I also then went to the Emmys party for Arcane. And tomorrow I'm going to an event in the afternoon for the studio. And then I'm going to an event in the evening for Severance. And then last week, after all of these events, and on the days that I didn't have events, I went out for drinks or coffee or lunch or whatever with financiers, with producers, with people in the industry who I would call a plug, like have connections to people that might be able to help me with the movie that I'm working on producing that you guys know I've been talking about for a really long time, or with I met with a different casting director as well. Like I am just trying to meet with everybody because I feel like if there's I never feel like I'm doing enough. I feel like if I was doing enough, I would be where I wanted to be right now. So the only thing I can think of, people say work smarter, not harder, but the only thing I can think of is working harder. And I know it doesn't sound like working hard to go to these events, but it is. I don't know how else to phrase it. It is to every day get up and work a whole job, whatever that is, whether I'm filming at Rejects all day, or filming for Christian, or filming for DJ, or filming the show, or filming social media, or doing the clips for Katie Sackhoff's podcast, or doing the socials for myself, or doing whatever random one-off gig I have that week, or riding around finding the bus stop for Brendan Fraser to film for that at 1 a.m, or whatever it is. I'm working full time. And then, you see this trend on social media where it's like my 9 to 5 versus my 5 to 9. So that's my 9 to 5. And then my 5 to 9, which really is till 2 a.m. most of the time, is I am now like on my network game. And part of being on your network game is trying to figure out what you can provide for other people. So like a bunch of the people I met with this week, it ended up being, what can I do for them? And I want to help because I know how hard it is. And if I have contacts or connections, or it's a space of mine or whatever, I try to help everybody I meet with who I feel like is working as fucking hard as I am and just really trying. And then part of it is figuring out what they can do for me. And then part of it is also figuring out, like, couldn't you have a friendship? Is this somebody that you can feel like you could have an accountability group with? Like, there's all different options. So I am really burning the candle right now, to the point where I sprouted a pimple last week, and I have not sprouted a pimple in almost a year. So I'm really burning the candle. You guys know I was having those health issues. And then I stopped to ask myself, like, oh boy, is it okay? Is this okay? And this is the constant battle in my head. And maybe this is relatable to you guys, and maybe this is not relatable to you guys, but it's a constant battle of, I need to work harder. I need to work harder. I need to do more. I need to push myself more. The more I push myself, the closer I'll be to where I want to be. Pause. Is this not good for me? Is this not good for my health, my physical or my mental health? Am I working too hard? Do I need to find balance? Do I need to find what my friends have? Do I need to go on vacations? Do I need to try and dedicate myself to meeting somebody? I am 34. Society tells me that I really needed to have done that years ago. Do I need to freeze my eggs? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to whatever? And so then also I just spit on you guys. My new thing for the last 6 weeks is that I've been doing yoga lattes every day with this app, Melissa Woods Health. And I like it because you can do 15 minutes of it. You can do 20 minutes of it. You could do 25 minutes of it. There's even 8 minutes ones. But I really try to dedicate that time to myself. And I notice I avoid doing it a lot. And then when I do it, I'm like, oh, I feel so much better mentally, physically. I just feel so much better. And are there more things like that that I could be implementing? Like I saw this girl, a friend of mine the other day posted how she's learned to do the splits this year because she downloaded this app called Stretch It. And for like 20 minutes a day, she dedicates herself to stretching. And flexibility is one of the things that is the most important with aging for us. I know that everybody like kind of jokes about flexibility, like, oh, haha, it's to be sexy or whatever. But no, flexibility is very important to avoid injury. As I've watched my grandparents injure themselves and whatnot, flexibility is extremely important for longevity and for your health with your longevity. So there's just a lot of questions constantly swirling around in my head and not really anybody to bounce things off of, like, except for you guys, where I'm just like, what is the right way? And then you hear something like that from James Gunn. Don't let your feelings dictate your choices. And I'm like, okay, so just put your nose to the ground. Clearly, whatever he's doing is working for him. So just put your nose to the grindstone, Roxy, and work. But that's what I've always done. And I'm like, is it not working because I mean, it's working to some extent, but is it not working fully because I need to change my tactics, or because I haven't done it long enough, or because it just hasn't happened yet, or because it has happened and it's just sometimes journeys are slow? Is any of this connecting with anybody right now? Do you guys have these thoughts at all? Or is this like, no, sorry, that's not how I feel. I'm chilling. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, super chat in. Victor Jarity 7158. Perhaps burnout is inevitable, and allowing yourself the grace to face it when it comes is the key. Allowing grace is hard, but things, but valuable. Allowing grace is hard things, but valuable. So you think that like potentially the thing you should be doing is going hard until you burn out, then feeling the burnout, and then going hard again, as opposed to trying to avoid the burnout altogether. I really don't feel burnt out, but today I did feel so tired, which is not something I usually feel. And on Fridays, I'm supposed to write with Steph. And so I woke up, I was doing my socials for Real Rejects. Then I was taping Only Stupid Answers with DJ Wooldridge. And then I went to go meet up with Steph, but she ended up having to cancel on me. And so I was like, okay, I have 5 hours free that I didn't think I was going to have. And okay, so in this time, I should do my exercise, and I should, I have a couple of letters that I'm writing right now to people in the industry, and I should work on the script that Steph and I were going to work on when we were together, but separate. And then I ended up being like, I'm so tired. I need to take an hour nap. I never nap. So I napped, and then I started getting paranoid because I was like, okay, right now, everybody at Rejects is sick. Like, Tara's been out with COVID. She posted about that. I don't want to out anybody else's stuff, but like yesterday I went to shoot with somebody and they literally had to leave when I got there. We were hanging out and they were like, I don't feel good. And they had to leave. Somebody else has been in and out of, again, I don't want to air anybody's out, but people are not well there right now. And so I was like, am I tired because I'm sick? And then I was like, no, Roxy, you're probably tired because you don't sleep and you have been going to an event or out with a producer or contact 7 nights a week for 2 weeks. So that's a lot. But then this stuff always kind of happens when like love life clears way, right? Like prior to that, you guys heard about what the shit that had happened to me. And then after that, I start going every night. And it's like, I wouldn't have been able to necessarily do that if I was seeing somebody. So that's good. At least for me, I think. Oh, Winston, hi, honey. You have COVID? Yeah, everybody has COVID. And I'm supposed to go see Grammy after this. And it's like, I feel 100% fine. I just felt a little tired. But I'm like, I'm nervous because I didn't even see Tara, but I saw people who did see her. And then like my uncle is also really sick right now. And Grammy's 98th birthday is Sunday. Oh, that sucks, Winston. Do you know how you got it? Not that it matters, but It's brutal. But that was an interesting theory, Victor, and thank you for the super chat. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Does this relate to any of you guys? Let me see in the chat. Or are you guys like, Roxy, what the hell are you talking about, girlfriend? Kyle, I work hard, but I value my downtime more than success. That's great to know about yourself. I don't value my downtime more than success. Part of me wishes I did, but it'll pay off in the long run. But yes, find balance, says Seattle. Feel free to spit on me whenever you want, says Stabworthy. Good. Mel, I just want to live a comfy life, but now my job is relocating. Oh, Mel, I don't think I knew that. What's happening? And are you going to work remote, or are you relocating, or what happens with that? I don't think you can escape burnout. Just have to keep the discipline. El Bandito. That's a quote that a lot of people have been saying recently is, you don't need to find motivation. You need to find consistency. And for things like the gym or YouTube or meditation, drinking water, I think that's probably true. Like, all of us keep looking to get motivated. And sometimes it's like, you don't have to want to do something to do it. Sometimes if you just decide that you're going to be consistent with something, even when you don't want to do it, you just do it. I'm sorry, Winston. Just here to show Rock's love. Winston, I was thinking about you yesterday. I think about you all the time, obviously, but I was thinking about you yesterday. This is getting egregious, and you know it. I'm not gonna pick on our friendship while you have COVID, but for those of you guys who don't know, Winston and I are very good friends, have been for a really long time now, and I have not seen him in, I want to say a year. And not for like lack of communication or trying, it just like, I don't know what. And we were seeing each other all the time. I don't know what happened. And like, yeah, you moved, but I'm over there all the time. And I guess you were over here more often when Christian was here. Then how are y'all good friends? Says Mel. No, you don't have any friends that you haven't seen in a year. We still talk. I guess I'm also, and Winston's probably also, because he's from Texas and I'm from Boston, I'm used to having long distance relationships. Like, a lot of my best friends live 3,000 miles from me. He said, I saw you 3 months ago. That can't be true, Winston. Let me think. I don't think I've seen you in a year. What happened 3 months ago? And calm down, homie. 3 months is too long. 3 months ago. Was it somebody's birthday? Was it Mark? I still think it's fucked up. I'm going to call it a year. Until you and I do a one-on-one, like, catch up, hang out, lunch, most likely because it's us, drinks, session. Nell says, I have a friend who hadn't talked to me in 8 months, and let that friend go. Yeah, no, Winston and I don't not talk. We just don't see each other the same we used to, which I hate that. The night shoot and saw you at rallies. Yeah. That was so brief though, dude. So brief. But to be honest, part of me feels like it's both of us, but a lot of me feels like it is me, because while I was just talking about how many just different events and things I'm going to, which maybe Winston, like, if you're free, you should start coming with me to some of these things, because I tend to go stag. But I haven't seen a lot of my friends. Like, I was just texting with Mark Ellis, who is another one of my really close friends who I have not seen since Riley's also. And Ellis and I were on like a once a week, every other week basis for a while. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen Dorina since Ellis, since Mark Riley's either. And you guys know I love D. And I just haven't been able to see her as much since we stopped working together. Yeah, just a lot of my friends after Miss Rona is gone. When did you get the Roans? Are you taking Paxlovid? That's my jam. All right. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you to the support from you guys, very specifically to our super chatter of the day, Victor Jarity, and our Streamlabsers, which are Jimmy Nails and imprinted on Roxy. Thank you to Lloyd and Jimmy. Jimmy says, Roxy, please take care of yourself. Hi, Jimmy. Balance is incredibly important. Don't work yourself to dwarf. Is dwarf how it lets you spell death? Don't work yourself to dwarf. Or none of it will matter. Don't end up like me, all the love in the world. But Jimmy, what if I want to be like you? I aspire to be Jimmy. Yeah, so now I'm raw dogging it. No, that's not smart. Don't do that. Lloyd in the house says, if you're tired, you should rest. Can't wait for you to see and react to Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. That movie is crazy. Team Stryer. Halloween 2, I'm so confused about the sibling situation because I remember the most recent Halloween and I'm like, did I miss something? Ryan, here's the trick to me seeing Steph. And this is the craziest thing. And I understand if people are like, that's ridiculous. That shouldn't be. Steph and I see each other once a week. We used to see each other about 5 times a week. But Steph and I now see each other once a week. And we see each other because we work together. We're writing a script together. Which is why Winston and I used to see each other so often. But for me, at this moment in my life, if I am not working with somebody, I do not see them frequently. Here are the people that I see every week. Steph, because we are working on something together. Greg, Kara, John. I don't even see Andrew, Coy, and Aaron once a week because I'm not always shooting with them. And then digitally, Christian and DJ. And then Grammy I see all the time. But other than that, those are the only people I see once a week. I don't think I've ever bought a lottery ticket. Imagine if I won. Said every person who's ever bought a lottery ticket ever. An original thought. Imagine if I won. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you to Jimmy. Thank you to Lloyd. And thank you to Victor for being in here. What do you guys think about that James Gunn quote? Don't let your feelings dictate your actions. What was it at the end? Let's rewind. Let's find it and rewind. Actually, you guys remember it. Right in the chat. Let me know. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. Also, while we're just briefly talking about James Gunn, how do you guys feel about Superman coming out today? Are you going to rent it / buy it? Are you watching it on VOD? I don't think I'm allowed to say much, but I have seen a couple episodes of Peacemaker. And from seeing that, I know that that they wanted to put out Superman because they wanted that to be out before you could, so you could watch that at home before you watch Peacemaker. You guys saw from the trailer, there's a couple characters from Superman that are in Peacemaker, but it doesn't matter. That wouldn't matter. I think I probably will rent it to rewatch it, though. I only ever saw it once in theaters, which is crazy. Kyle Reyes. Hello, Kyle. 2001. Is that the year you were born? Wow. Can't wait to see Christian's pilot getting everyone together. It's fun seeing everyone individually, but the pilot seems like an MCU Endgame level event. That's interesting. Winston, did you read his pilot? I read his pilot. It would be very exciting if it gets made. I think you guys would really like it. If you guys saw him drop Grasping at Straws, it's like an elevated version of that I think would be really, really awesome. I know he said that like initial instinct is $250,000 to film it. It's obviously a lot of money. It's not a lot for a pilot, but It's a lot to get, and I hope that the fan base supports him as much as they can. The role that he said he wrote for me, I would be like ecstatic to play and very excited about if that happens. Oh, you're 42. Okay, so what happened in 2001? Space Odyssey? Let us know. Interesting from Seattle, $20 for rental is too much when I already have streaming app I'll eventually land on. A lot of people are probably going to pay for it on rental because if you're solo, $20 is a lot. But like if you have a family of 5 and you've been waiting to see this, very likely $20 is a nice price range. Yeah, Mel, the pit is so fucking good though. Fast pace is fine. So you guys know I started watching Arcane. I really like that show. I'm really excited to watch Love is Blind UK. I just put it on, and one of the reasons that I get very excited is because I really like the show Love is Blind, but I don't know if I've told you guys this. Matt Willis, who hosts the show with his wife, what was his friend? With his wife, Emma Willis. Matt and I are buddies. Matt and I, we share a mutual close friend, my friend Dom. For those of you guys who remember, Dom's been on the show before. Dom put me on my first movie, Madness in the Method, the Jason Mewes movie. And Dom actually wrote the movie, the Kate Beckinsale movie that I just shot in the UK. And Dom, one of Dom's best friends is Matt Willis. Matt Willis is from a band in the UK called Busted, which I had never heard of here, but they are massive there. They actually wrote the song, Been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they live underwater. That is a song that I thought was a Jonas Brothers song. It's actually a Busted song that Jonas Brothers bought from them. But they perform that song, and they're huge over in the UK. So anyway, Matt, I didn't realize he came here. We went to Disney, me, Matt, and Dom for the day. We had a blast. And anybody from the UK kept stopping us. And I was like, I have no idea who I'm with. Who is this guy? And my friend Dom was like, he is like a massive, massive star in the UK. And then come to find out, his wife, Emma Willis, is like the Ryan Seacrest of the UK. So also, Matt ended up being in the Kate Beckinsale movie as well. So I'm stoked to watch because it's really cool to watch Matt Willis and his wife, Emma, who I actually haven't met yet, but I hear she's amazing, host the show. And I watched them first season and they did such a great job. And now that I just saw him again in the UK and we were just shooting together, I'm really excited to support the show. So anyway, I will be watching Love is Blind. Just finished Perfect Match. Wild. I mean, this isn't a spoiler of the show. They had already announced this, that Adie and Ollie got engaged and are preggers. That's crazy. They're actually a really cute couple, but I really hope he doesn't screw her over, because if he does, I will kill him. That's how I feel. And let's see, what else am I watching? I'll talk more on Sunday about this. Wednesday, Platonic, Chief of War. I thought I watched the Smoke finale, but apparently there's another episode. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to spend a lot of time on Sunday on this. I watched the final episode of And Just Like That. I watched the final episode of And Just Like That. That is the Sex and the City spinoff that came back for 3 seasons, only to kill off Big, have Carrie and Aiden break up, and leave her at the end, not alone, but on her own. I have questions. People are so mad at the finale of this show, and I understand. Nothing wrong with somebody being on their own. Nothing wrong with that. But why'd you guys do all of that? Like, why did we come back for 3 seasons to kill off her love interest and then destroy her other one? Why'd we do that? There were so many other really odd things. Very strange choices were made. Seattle, are there any TV shows this fall season you're looking forward to? Are you calling the fall season like we used to call the fall season, which is just anything till the end of the year? Or do you specifically mean the fall months? Because Stranger Things, Fallout, obviously really excited for those. Will there be another Silo by the end of this year? Let's see. Or is that not till next year? Silo season 3. Late 2025, early 2026. So we don't know. That I would be excited for. Oh, I need to prioritize Alien Earth. It's really good. Even though I don't watch the Alien franchise, I've seen the first movie. That's it. All right, maybe I'll try to watch it before Sunday. And Arcane is taking up my time right now. I'm on episode 6 of season 1. But more TV this Sunday. Tim Koscuba. Thank you for the Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. Glad I could randomly catch one of your lives for once. Hell yeah. Thanks for getting me on board the Real Rejects train. Feels like watching movies with my friends again. Needed it after engagement broke off and I found myself alone a lot. Love. Tim, it's like one of the nicest comments anybody could say to me is that they found a place I am through me. So happy that you found Real Rejects. I can't say enough good things about being over there. I love it there. I honestly hope that I host there forever. Like, I just really love Real Rejects. And I love every person I work with. I'm really sorry to hear about your engagement breaking off. I know that's a weird phrasing because usually when engagement break off, it's for the best, even when it hurts. But if you're going to get that close to being with somebody, usually if you're going to call it off, there's a really good reason. So proud of you for continuing to keep on keeping on and hope that you are one step closer to happiness. I bet you are. Appreciate the comment. Streamlabs in, Super Chat in, not here that much longer. So send them in. Also wanted to give a shout out to Matthew W., who sent in a Streamlabs before the show started a couple days ago, but after last week. And he said, hi, Roxy. Just want to say I'm sorry on how it ended with the most recent guy. Keep your head up. Don't let it affect your confidence. Was just wondering. He wanted to know if he had nice size. You guys ask a lot of questions about size. And because like a couple people said something about something at one point and know who this person was or whatever, I'm not going to like speak on that. But I will speak in general about size as I've talked to you guys about. It's just not something that matters to me or most people. I think it's so interesting when people want to know like the size of somebody else. It's so funny. Or maybe you're talking about height. This person was tall, and tall people are fine too. I also stand a short king, so for all the reasons, size is not a big deal to me. And I also will say, like, you guys know I'm really slow, so when I've only met somebody, been on 6 dates, I didn't get like a full chance to fully explore. So I don't know all of the intricacies. Hopefully that answers a little bit. Yeah, Kyle, broken engagement equals no divorce. That is true. That is true. Easier said than done, though, in terms of it's a big move. I have a friend. I actually next weekend was supposed to go to my friend's wedding, and they called off their wedding. And I met to chat with her about it, and they're actually going to still give it a try. They're just now in couples therapy, and life's tough, man. Sometimes relationships can be tough. Really tough. Andrew Thomas, 888. Hey, Roxy, I suffered burnout last month, and it was mainly emotional, and I needed a break. But now I'm getting back to editing again. Sexy Andrew, where did the burnout come from, do you think? You said it's mostly emotional and you needed a break. And what did you do to take a break? Like, can a break be a few hours? Or does a break need to be weeks? Like, what is a break? I'm trying to get back home in September because I haven't been home for a while. And usually that fills my cup. I really want to see my niece. My sister FaceTimed me with my niece today for a while. I just want to hold her. I love her. So maybe that will help a little bit. And my sister, my brother, my people. I always feel safe there. All right, guys, we are getting out of here in the next couple minutes. So let's. Mel, apparently your break is a week in Cabo. All right, I'm sorry. This is only going to be relevant to about 5 people, but are we team Jeremiah or team Conrad? Are we team Jeremiah or team Conrad? I don't know what to do. Post Peach, life seems so different. And like, I'm team sibling first and foremost, and you just can't be out here doing what these siblings are doing, including Belly. Like, and if you don't know, you don't know, and feel better for that. But if you do know, what team are we on? I'm so fucked up over this show. Seriously, only here a couple more minutes. So send in that support. Thank you so much to those of you who have, including Tim Kaskuba, Printed on Roxy, Jimmy Nails, Matthew W., Seattle KO, Sexy Andrew, Kyle Rays, Victor Jarity. You guys absolutely rock. In the super chat, in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Ryan says, just have to say, I always got a kick out of all the size questions you guys got for World Girls. But I will say your honesty about that and your views really did give me a lot of respect. I went through issues in that department and you really did help me. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, I don't say it because it's the right thing to say. I say it because I really feel it. And like, I'm not saying that all women or men feel that way. I just have never, ever cared about that. There's never been a time that I have either liked somebody more or less based on their size. That's never happened before. So that. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Shane, he didn't say anything, but he just gave support, and I appreciate that. Thanks, Shane. Much love. Appreciate the support, homie. Thanks, everybody, for joining me at this random Friday time. You guys rock. All right. Shall we get out of here? Wait, hold on. Wait, what team are you on? So, Leonard is Conrad. You're the only one who answered? Mel, you don't get to either answer. You can't ask me if you don't answer. The only answer I got was Conrad. I have to tell you something, Leonard. And again, those of you who don't care about this, it's probably the vast majority. The vast, vast majority. I want so desperately to be Team Jeremiah still. Because there were so many times where I was, and he was a good guy, and he seemed like a good match for her, and he's a little cutie pie, and a little bisexual babe. And they're engaged, and that's who she chose. But her chemistry with Conrad is so off the charts. Like, they look at each other, and It's him. And it's always been Conrad. And I'm so frustrated about that because now I think Conrad is a really, really, really bad brother if he's with Belly. If Conrad goes with Belly, you are now with, I mean, they did it for 4 years. I understand Conrad was there first, but like now he's older and all this. Yeah, I'm invested in Steven and Taylor too. It feels like the show might not end up with them together because of his new business partner. I don't really get that though. They clearly should be together. But yeah, I'm Team Conrad, and I've never said that out loud. In the deepest depths of my soul, I just know that's her man. And if you don't know, that's okay. All right, babes. Let me go back in the Streamlabs before we get out of here. John get bent. John says, Streamlab messages are way too short for me to weigh in on the main topic. Too much. But I feel like the bigger aspirations a person has, the harder they hit the wall when those aspirations are not met. Anyway, stay sane, or at least try to. I think that's so fair, John. Like, I talk to a lot of my girlfriends from home and guy friends from home. And my friends from home, they have different dreams than me. And their dreams were more easily attainable. And they're so happy. And they are all married with multiple children living in beautiful homes. And some of them have jobs they don't like, but they work to live. And some of them have jobs that they do like that are 9 to 5s. And they really don't understand where I'm coming from with any of this stuff because they're like, why not just like choose happiness? And it's like the thing is, I can't be happy without living my dream. And maybe that's wrong. But that's why when I hit these walls, I have to find ways to climb over them because it's really the only option for me. Shane in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, everyone needs to find their own way and advice is very subjective. But for me, I've had some pretty severe mental health issues the last 7 years, some physical too. I just say take time for yourself when needed and always be kind to yourself. Shane, I'm really sorry to hear that you're having health issues. A lot of times physical health and mental health issues come at the same time. One affects the other. Taking time for yourself is always important. I just don't know like how or when or where or what. So it can be difficult. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Ash, a new guy, says, my ex and I broke up because I have a size. My ex and I broke up because I have a size at all. I was rewatching I have a size at all. I was rewatching early seasons of Friends, and Ross's bitterness makes no sense to me. I'm BFFs with my lesbian ex. We were besties before and after trying dating and her realizing she wasn't into. I think that I'm not sure how it worked with your ex, but I think with Carol, it had to do with like the infidelity and Carol being aware of her being into women and lying to him. I don't know how it worked with your ex, but I think that's where the bitterness came from. Not from the fact that she was a lesbian, but also it was the 90s. So who's to say? All right, my friends. Thank you for that support. Thank you to all of you guys for watching. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back with you Sunday. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and live. We don't want those buffoons. Don't trump the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who have lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. Wherever you are in the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. And Golden Sparkles for the Zaman himself. This weekend, I will be at, again, the studio, and then I'll be at Severance. So 2 different events. And then I have another thing that night. And then Sunday, I'll be celebrating Grammy's birthday with her, 98. Everybody wish her a happy birthday. So that means lots of content on my social as well. And then I'll be back with you Sunday night to discuss it all. plus television. So we will do that. Much, much love. And appreciate you guys. If you have tips and you're watching this after, talk about how you avoid burning out, crashing out, if you can. Oh, I don't have a size at all as a joke about having a penis. I understand, Ash. Didn't get it. Wasn't quick enough. All right. Good to know. Okay, friends. Later.